Before we begin our lesson, know that you can listen to this entire story on Mayan through your Clever icon. Go to the search bar and type "From Seed to Pine Tree" and you should be able to find it and listen to the story in its entirety. This week in reading, we will interpret information presented visually, orally, or quantitatively, and we'll explain how the information contributes to an understanding of the text in which it appears. When we interpret something, we decide its meaning or significance. We will look at visuals in the text, that is, diagrams, graphs, charts, pictures, and tell what meaning do they have, why are they there. We will also look at quantitative things. Those are things that have numbers or sizes like charts, graphs, and timelines. We will decide what information we're getting from those things. Finally, we will decide how that information contributes or adds to our understanding of the text. The author places charts, graphs, and diagrams in the text not just because, but so that we get extra information about what we're learning about. Pay attention to these things as we read our text today. One other thing that we're going to do as good readers is determine the meaning of words that we don't know. Sometimes these are general academic words and sometimes they're domain-specific words. Domain-specific words are words that have to do with a specific topic. For example, trees, trunk, bark. All of those are domain-specific words. General academic words are words that can be used across all texts. If you come to a word that you do not know the meaning of, as a reader, your job is to figure out what the word means by using context clues, or by going to the glossary and figuring out what the word means from there. We are reading to understand how the life cycle of a pine tree begins and what contributes to the growth of a pine tree. Be sure to pay attention to the visuals in the text and all the quantitative information that might be presented. Beautiful pines. Pine trees are known for their long, thin leaves called needles. Pine trees are evergreens, so their needles stay green year-round. These beautiful trees are found in forests, parks, and maybe even your yard. More than 150 kinds of trees belong to the pine family. They all have the same basic life cycle. Let's look at the life cycle of the shortleaf pine tree. Then there's a map on the right-hand side on page 5. And as a reader, I'm wondering, why has the author placed this map here? He obviously wants me to know something about pine trees. So I notice on the map that there's New York and Texas labeled, and I notice that they're shaded in green. So in my thought process, I'm thinking the author's trying to tell me this is the place, these are the places where you'll find these shortleaf pine trees. The text didn't tell me that, so that means that this map is adding to my knowledge about pine trees. Let me read the caption and see if it gives me any more information. In the United States, the shortleaf pine tree is found in 22 states. It grows as far south and west as Texas, throughout the eastern part of the country, and as far north as New York. So yeah, even that caption gave me a little bit more information because now I know it's only going to go as far up as New York. I know it's only going to go as far west as Texas, right? And I know all the states from looking at the map that you're not going to be able to find shortleaf pine trees. So will you be able to find these in Florida? Take a guess. Look at the visual. Now get out your notebook and write the number 1 and answer this question. How did the image and caption on page 5 contribute to the text on page 4? A small seed. A towering pine tree begins life as a tiny brown seed. The winged seed is protected inside a closed pine cone. In fall, the pine cone opens. The wind carries the winged seed to the ground. This small seed starts to germinate or sprout. When temperatures rise in spring, a seed also needs water and air to begin growing. And then if you look at the caption at the bottom of page 7, it says, a seed has nutrients or food inside of itself to help it grow. It uses this food until the plant is big enough to make its own. Now write a number 2 in your notebook and answer this question. What does towering mean as it is used in this text? A towering pine tree begins life as a tiny brown seed. Use the visuals and text on page 6 and 7 to help you answer. So one of the things that good readers do is look at the visuals. So a towering pine tree, what do you notice about the pine trees? That will help you understand what towering means. But also the author uses context clues by giving you the opposite of the meaning of the word towering. Listen, a towering pine tree begins life as a tiny brown seed. What does towering mean? Write your answer in your notebook. Now write number 3 in your notebook and answer this question. What does the word germinate mean as it is used on page 6? Good readers look for context clues. One context clue is the author stating the meaning right in the sentence where the word is found. This small seed starts to germinate or sprout when temperatures rise in the spring. What does germinate mean? Write your answer in your notebook.